Hey guys, Albert Fisk here with another brand new type of video for you. And this is actually going to be sort of a short series. It's gonna take a while to do it, but it is going to be a couple of videos. And as the title says here, it's about my daily sketches. So a little bit of back history for this is at the end of last year, 2015, I decided that 2016 was going to be my most creative year so far. And one of the things that I wanted to implement in my daily art thingamajig was to do more sketching because I don't sketch that often. And I thought daily sketches is a perfect way to go. So I think we should just start flipping through this because there's a lot. As you can see, it's pretty thick. There's a lot of sketches, and I would like to go through them all. Hopefully, I can keep up talking. I am a little bit nervous because I haven't recorded a video in a while, but I have done a lot of streaming, so hopefully this goes well. Anyway, I started off here 1st of January, and you're gonna see that some of these are better, some of them are not good at all, some of them are just crappy, and that's because that's just how it goes, I guess. Sometimes you can't produce good stuff, you just have to produce bad stuff as well. The whole point is that you want to do one sketch every day, no matter what it is. And some days it was really hard to just push yourself to do it, but other days like this one, I just saw the new Star Wars movie, so I had a good idea of what I wanted to do and just looked up a reference and did Kylo Ren. And yeah, it turned out pretty good, in my opinion. For me, at least. Also, one of the rules I set for myself, at least in the beginning, was that one sketch couldn't take longer than 1 hour. So I set a timer on my phone and then I just... Well, actually, I looked up a reference first if I needed it. And then I set a timer and went at it. And most of the time, the timer didn't even get to the end. So I think these took like 30 minutes or something. So they went pretty fast. But later on, I decided to skip the timers because I wanted to be able to put more time into details if I felt like it. And the timer just felt like it held me back a little bit. This one, Alan Rickman or Professor Snape, I did. I'm not sure if it was the same day that he died, or if it might have been a few days after. But I really like Snape in Harry Potter, and I really like Alan Rickman. All in all, I think he was a really good actor. So it's really sad to see him go. And here's a good example of one day that I didn't know at all what I wanted to do. So I just took a pink marker and made swirls and turned it into a worm orgy or something like that. It kind of looks like a worm pile of worms just having something, just doing something. Anyway, here I started to get into skulls and animal skulls. They're super fun to draw because I think they're more fun to draw than human skulls, or at least I thought so in the beginning. Mainly because an animal skull, a human skull is, everybody knows how it looks like. Animal skulls, you kind of have a little bit more freedom with. You can play around with it a little bit more. You still see that it's a weird skull. You can't probably not tell that it's a cat skull. I don't know, maybe. But it doesn't really have to be 100% accurate. So this one, I put more time into it, elaborate a little bit with the background and so on. I think this was a water buffalo, but I made the skull a little bit longer. Here I just made some space, alien snot thing, bacteria, I don't know. Was playing around with the light and shading. Kind of like it. Skulls, mushrooms, and I tried different mediums also, different pens, like what I had laying around. And here's some good examples of when I use reference. You can see the difference probably. Yeah, most of these are reference with the skulls and the animals and so on. But I've learned a lot from that, and there's no shame in using reference, not at all. It's actually a lot of fun. I love drawing birds for some reason. I'm not sure what it is, but yeah, they're really fun. And here I did some crystals. This one, not very happy with it, but I was thinking about the movie Dune and the books. I wanted to draw a sandworm, and that's how it turned out. All the stick figures or whatnot, but still, it is a sketch. More animals. Birds. These are pretty fun to do. And here we get into a little bit Stranger Things. You can kind of see what mood I was in. Here there were animals, and then they just started to get a little bit more weird and dark. This was a suggestion in a stream I hanged out in. And yeah, some days I did stuff like this, and I was like, what the hell is that? I can't even. So I think I went a little bit later the same day I did this one as well. So you can see the number, it's still like this, it's still the same date. This was 30 and a half of 366. But that's totally fine. I mean, the point is to do at least one sketch a day, and if you do two, doesn't really matter. And this is also a good way to see what I need to work on. I really need to work on like doing figures, poses. I can't do that at all. I really suck at it, but I usually don't draw stuff like that. And here I started using references of like deformed people. That got me really interested in that. We're gonna see more of that later. And here I did a combination of a human skull with a bird skull, and I think that turned out pretty cool. And here's a completely different style with markers and very bright colors. More animals. Quick sketch. Some weird animal that I added some fangs to. Yeah, this kind of stuff I really need to work on. I'm not comfortable with that at all. And here I had a friend do like a scribble, and then I looked at the scribble on all angles, and I turned it into like a cartoon lady. Here I got a little bit carried away. Just wanted to see if this texture was working as tree roots or tree. I could probably go with this all the way up and make it look pretty cool. But this took me longer than an hour because it's a lot of small lines, so I had to stop. But that's something I want to do later on. Try this again, but do the entire tree. Here's an egg dude. Sort of, I used a reference, and he had like a beer belly, but this part didn't look very good at the end, so I just put him in a black egg instead. Kind of works. Here I was inspired by, I think I've watched some sci-fi movie. Not sure which though. Kinda like the perspective and the scenery. More weird alien stuff. Blobby guy. Another blobby guy. Ball sack apparently in the middle of his chest. That's pretty normal. Here's a friend's dog, Silver, sleeping in my sofa, so I took a photo of her and drew her later on. Here's just from my head a ballsack bird. I don't know what it is but ballsacks, but I have them in two sketches here, pretty close to each other. This one is actually also from a reference, a human that has been burned in the fire, and skin and all was very deformed, so I used that and made it sort of into a monster, or I don't know what it is, but it looks more like a swamp monster in my eyes. We have a weird Mickey Mouse thingy. I think these are Mickey Mouse ears or something like that. This is one of my lamps in my apartment. So you can see sometimes I just grabbed whatever was around me and tried to sketch it. Sometimes I have ideas and try out different things. This was actually, I was sketching for a painting that I did. I'll try to put a picture of the finished painting on the screen. And that was done in pastel crayons. So I was trying out some different ideas for the back piece that goes in the head of the guy in the painting. Or it is drawing when you work with crayons. This was actually a reference. I saw an animal that looked something like this, and I thought it looked pretty cool. Or actually, well, cool and weird. Actually used another human as a reference for this. Deformed humans. I don't know what it is, but this one I'm not very proud of. It's supposed to be The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, but as you can see, I really need to work on portraits. But at least I'm trying. I'm trying every now and then. But it is scary. Stuff like this, though, I really enjoy doing, like deformed stuff or portraits or humans. I'm not sure why, but I guess it's because it's easier. You can do a little bit as you like. This one was inspired by I was watching Big Trouble in Little China, an old like 90s movie, and there's a creature there that looks like this, sort of. Now you can see that the sketches are starting to look a little bit better, in my opinion, if you compare to like in the beginning here. For me, I can see the development at least already, and this is like month 3, so not a lot of time has passed, but I've cramped in a lot of stuff here. And also, by the way, on the side of this, I've done my normal art stuff. So sketching this is just 1 per day or 2 per day or whatever, and then I'll do everything else. So I have watched the movie Deadpool, and I did my own Deadpool. For some reason, he got an egg in his head. I'm not sure why, but I thought it looked funny. So I got into doing like caricatures, I think that's how you say it, of superheroes. So here we have Batman. And these are done with ballpoint pens, by the way. Like the normal big clicker ballpoint pens. Also, on a side note, I'm gonna do a video about ballpoint pens. That's coming up, so keep your eyes open for that. And did the Batman, and then I did RoboCop. I really like these. They're a lot of fun to do. Here's a reference for that one. Here's my version of Charles Xavier. Do you know the guy from X-Men? The guy in the wheelchair? He's a very smart dude, so he gave him a big brain there. Wolverine with a crazy hairdo. And here's one of the days where things just didn't work, so I just did something. Tried some poses with weird faces and whatnot. So you can see it really varies from day to day what your mind is up to and how like calm you are and what place you're in. I don't think I had a really good day. The 6th of what is it, January of Mars? Anyway, more Star Wars stuff. R2-D2, use a reference. Try to do a quick sketch. There's a lot of details in this guy, so it's kind of difficult. This one I really liked. At least that part. The hand was, I don't know what I did there. No reference used, just had an idea about somebody trying to eat themselves. Like, he's gonna eat himself that way. And this is done with ballpoint pen as well. I really enjoy working with ballpoint because you can get these really nice shadings and you can get very hard lines and very smooth lines. So there's a lot of variety in just one pen. Here we had, I think I did this during a stream, and I asked in the stream what they thought what I should do as my daily sketch, and somebody said from the game BioShock to send me a picture of like one of the main characters. So I just got inspiration from that and turned it into this weird thing. Here we have a Magneto. Not as happy with this one as the other superheroes. This just, I don't like this at all. I wasn't in the same mood as before there, but still, it's a sketch. Here we have, actually this was also in a stream, somebody came in and said that I'll give you $30 if you do a sketch for 30 minutes. and the theme is like nightmare, creepy monsters. So I'm like, okay. So the donation came in, and I started doing a lot of thinking. I did some sketching with pencil first, and then turned out like this. Kind of like it. It's a weird creature, and it was really stressful to have the time limit, but it paid out. Here's something I was watching at alien drawings from other artists, and just got inspired and tried that out. Here's my hand holding one of my pen jars. I have these tin cans with pens, so I picked one up and tried to draw that. This one I like a lot because this is an idea I've had for a long time. So I just wanted to sketch it real quick, and this is going to be a bigger drawing or more. How do you say that? I'm gonna put more time into a drawing like this and do an actual art piece of it. Here's a frog licking the screen or the paper, sort of. I don't know. Steve Buscemi, just because he looks funny. There's a lot of eyes going on with Steve Buscemi, and I like the caricatures. It's a lot of fun. Here I did a devil. I think this was a suggestion in the stream as well. Here's my friend Joachim. Tried to draw him. But then again, as I said before, I'm not very good at this. I need to practice that more. I don't think it's that fun to do though, just like normal stuff. But I know it's a good thing to practice, so I have to do that some more. I think I'm gonna do that in art school that start this month. I'm not sure what I did here. Some muscle guy with strange muscles. This is a hand sketch for a painting I did. A rat. Another weird creature. Big Trouble in Little China again. This is Lo Pan. He's shooting like light beams from his mouth. Very strange. This is a sketch for another painting I did, and I'll try to put that painting on the screen as well. Here is another one. This is done with Pro markers and Prismacolor pencils. So I was trying out some things and ideas for that painting or drawing. I keep saying painting, but it's actually drawing. Here I did some mouth sketches. They're a lot of fun to do. Stream suggestion. The one we do a clockwork, like inside of a clock. There's a lot of details, so I could probably put more time into that, but anyway. Superman, used a reference for this. This was after I saw Batman vs. Superman. I think should have been around this time. Not sure. Another portrait of Mr. Creep that I didn't really turn out that good, but still. Here's a silverfish thingy. Live sketch from a duck down by the lake where I live. This was a lot of fun to do. And that's it. So that's the first daily sketchbook. That's from 1st of June, or January, I mean, to the last of March. And I'm working on another one here. So this is almost finished. The thing is, I took a break for almost a month and a half with the daily sketches because it just got a little bit too much and I wasn't feeling very great at that point. But what I decided to do in this one is to actually catch up on the missed dates. So even though I do a new sketch, I will put the date for when it's supposed to be. So for example, this one is the 16th of June. So if I do a sketch today, I will put the date for the 17th of June, just so I will have one for each day. Even though sometimes I do like 4 in these now, just to try and catch up. So I do that instead of just starting over, because I want to get 366 sketches by the end of this year in these small books, and I have 2 other books that are empty, so that's what I'm gonna do. Anyway, that's the end of the first daily sketchbook video. if you like it, please let me know in the comments and let me know what I could do differently, or if there's anything you wonder about, just ask me. And I will do the video about the next sketchbook as soon as it's done. It's not that much left on this one. As you can see, it's just that little part. Anyway, I hope you guys like it or liked it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.